What's up guys, Untitled Studios here, and this is going to be a quick review of the Shark Navigator not Lift Away, I'm so used to saying Lift Away, the Shark Navigator Deluxe. And this is, I forgot the model number on this, but whatever. This is the one that you can currently buy right now at Big Lots, and a similar version at Walmart. And the one that's at Big Lots that's identical to this version, you can buy for around 150 bucks. Which is only about 10 bucks less than the Navigator Liftaway. So I'm actually about to sell this vacuum, so I wanted to get this review out of the way. So I have used it though, and it is a pretty nice machine. It is a little bit heavy compared to other Sharks, but it's not nearly as heavy as the Shark Apex, but it's a little bit heavier than the Navigator Liftaway. At least I'm pretty sure. Let me grab the Navigator Liftaway. Yeah, Navigator Liftaway is a little bit lighter, but it's not too much of a difference. But you can get the Navigator Liftaway for about 10 bucks more than this, depending on where you look. And of course, there's newer versions of it with 0M technology. The Navigator Liftaway has the swivel steering, as well as the liftaway function. However, this one feels a little bit sturdier as a result. It feels a little bit more robust. You know, just because there's no swivel steering, it feels more solid, more substantial. The front bases are basically the same, although, again, since it's not a liftaway, it's not easily removable. And the hose is actually really, really nice on it. The hose is much nicer than it is on the liftaway, simply because it has that little bracket down there to keep the machine from tipping over. And of course, you can remove it from this little clip if you want to get better above floor reach. And since this little joint here actually swivels, you can reach much higher. Now, the reach on this isn't as good as the liftaway because the wand isn't the entire handle. You just get this extension wand right here. The vacuum also normally comes with a Crevice Tool and dusting brush, very similar to the one that's on the Navigator Liftaway. And in fact, this particular unit actually usually comes with a bunch of other attachments like an extra long crevice tool and stuff like that, although I don't have those on hand, so I can't exactly test them, but they do seem like decent quality attachments. For some reason this hose is not wanting to, oh yeah, it's because it was all stretched out. Yeah, so hose kind of flops around a little bit, but it still does the trick, and you actually do get a lot more hose reach on this than the liftaway, but not as much wand reach, like I mentioned. So if you're comparing these two machines and you care more about the hose length than the actual wand length, especially because, again, the wand length isn't all that much different, then this one's probably the better option for you. Now, again, there is no 0M technology or dual clean like the newer Sharks, so they're going to be about equal in terms of their ability to resist tangles, which is not all that well. But again, you know, for your average vacuum, especially for the price, it's not too bad. Now, a big sort of hit that you take with the Deluxe versus the Liftaway is filtration, because the Liftaway has a sealed system. This does not. It also does not contain a HEPA filter. The exhaust filter is just this little piece right here, this little foam filter, which is fine, but it's not perfect. And obviously it's a bagless system, so you're going to be leaking dust back into the air whenever you are emptying the machine, so that's not going to be quite the best if you have allergies. Most people these days really prefer a bagless system, and you're not really going to convince them otherwise, and there is a reason why Shark is very highly regarded among normal consumers, and that's why I was able to sell this machine so fast after I refurbished it. So again, I'm selling it as soon as this video ends, so again, that's why this is a little bit of a quick video. You get your cord clip up here, you get your standard 2-position rocker switch that Sharks are famous for. First position is suction, second position engages the brush roll whenever the brush roll is reclined. It simply has a friction release for the cleaner head, which I prefer to any sort of release latch, because it's one less mechanism that can break over time. I rarely see these actual, you know, mechanisms wear out where it's just simply pulling the machine back. And again, normally the dusting brush would go here and the crevice tool would go in this little caddy right here, but again, those are currently missing. I actually wonder, I believe this uses a different crevice tool. Yeah, so the one from the Liftaway doesn't fit on the Deluxe. So between these two machines, if I was forced to recommend one and not be specifically towards a specific use case, I would probably go with the Navigator liftaway. But the Deluxe is still a pretty decent machine. Obviously, that's the focus of this review. And if you don't care about the swivel steering and you want the extra accessories when comparing this to the liftaway, and also you want the longer hose reach, as well as, the more sturdy feeling design, then I would say the Navigator Deluxe is a pretty solid option. So again, and it has that extension one right there. One thing I don't like is that this hose is actually hardwired into this base. There is no quick release mechanism for this hose like it is on the liftaway. The liftaway actually has a easily removable hose. Now, a way you can get around that is if you do rip the hose on this, you can actually buy the replacement hose that's for the liftaway, and you can just pull off the connector cuff that goes right here on this hose. You can just kind of pull this connector cuff off. It's kind of ghetto, but you can do it. And then you can just thread that hose into this section right here. So there's a little tip if you rip the hose on this and you're trying to find a replacement, because Shark is not the most helpful when it comes to finding replacement parts. You also have a brush roll indicator right here and a clear window up front. Sorry if I'm a bit congested, it's really hot in this room right here. Another thing is you have the dirt container up here, which releases with this button over here. You have a filter right here, which is in its own little caddy that you can remove, and you can also pull out the filter itself, which is actually pretty hard to do. Actually, yeah, because the foam filter is what you take out. This middle piece is actually part of this removable caddy. So you can remove this caddy, and you can see there is another very small, minuscule filter underneath. Doesn't really do a whole lot, but it is there. So you got those two filters, and again, this foam filter that just simply slides out. So you got this filter and that other filter, as well as this post motor filter, that are all washable and replaceable, although this one didn't wash particularly well. So, but the exhaust filter is the least important anyways, as far as actual cleaning performance. So, yeah, both of these filters, both this one and the one underneath, are easily washable. This one in particular is going to get dirty pretty fast, because this is basically a single cyclonic system. So you're going to need to keep up with filter maintenance, and that is going to have to be a thing. So we can see right there, that's where this little cone is. You can see where stuff enters right there and gets flung over to this side. It actually has a pretty decent sized capacity, and the capacity is bigger than the Navigator liftaway. So again, if you have the well, it also comes with a turbo brush. I didn't even realize it came with a turbo brush, so that's cool. So if you actually need a bigger capacity when compared to the liftaway, then again, this is probably the better option if you specifically need a bigger capacity. So it seems like if you're working in a commercial environment or one where there's a lot of dirt, this may be the better option if you don't care about the liftaway features and you just want a longer hose and a bigger dust container. That could definitely be an incentive to go with this machine over the Navigator liftaway. So that said, there's not much else to say about it. Another thing is that the cord is decently long. I don't really have many complaints with it. The cord actually does appear to be a little bit longer than the liftaway, so that's another incentive to go towards this machine. Although I didn't actually measure it, I'm just kind of looking at it. It does appear to be a little bit longer, but I could be wrong about that. I didn't actually think to look up the cord before I started this review, so I'll double check and see what the official cord length is and update the review accordingly if there's anything different to say about that cord. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and give this a quick run and we can see how well it performs. On this particular rug, at first it almost sounded like the machine was clogged because the suction was pretty strong, so it was actually sucking it to the floor and had a good seal on the floor, so it made me think the machine was clogged, but it was just because I had it on the floor and it was sucking itself down to the floor. The agitation on this actually does feel like it's a little bit better than a liftaway, but it's probably negligible. You know, it feels very, very good. It felt like it was agitating the carpet very well. The debris that was on the carpet was bouncing towards the brush roll. So it does feel like the more sort of heavy duty of the two machines. But, you know, so again, that's another incentive to go towards this machine, is that the brush roll performance does appear to be a little bit more aggressive. But again, I haven't used one of these in a while, so they actually could be more similar than I'm remembering. But yeah, so that's my quick review on the Shark Navigator Deluxe. Not much else to say about it. Wow, I keep saying that phrase in all my reviews. It's probably getting annoying. Anyway, guys, this is Untitled Studios. What do you guys think about the Navigator Deluxe? So, as usual with Shark, the cleaning performance is pretty good. The filtration on this particular machine is and the parts availability is pretty awful. But if you can get past those complaints with it, it's a pretty decent machine, and there's not really many complaints that I can say with it, especially for the price point. I know a lot of other vacuum technicians, and again, I've been repairing vacuums for 15 years. I know there's a lot of other technicians that rag on Shark for no reason, or at least the reasons they give are crap, other than the parts availability. That's a valid concern. And, you know, there are some issues with EuroPro's quality control that, again, is a valid concern. But everything else about the machine is pretty solid, especially for the price. This woman is getting this machine refurbished for $100, and for $100, you definitely cannot complain. So anyway, guys, this is Untitled Studios signing out with my quick review of the Shark Navigator Deluxe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.